It has been a week and a half since I've last done an episode of the 21 Pilot Hot Take series. Since then, a lot of things have happened, such as the Vessel 10th anniversary stream, and a lot of other people have joined the channel. So, let's just go ahead and do an introduction, shall we? Good morning, good afternoon, good night, depending on when you're watching this. How's it going, guys? First off, I hope you're having a good day today. Hope your day is going well and hope it continues to go well. Welcome back to another episode of the 21 Pilot Hot Take series, where we go over your various 21 Pilot Hot Takes. Down in the description box below, as well as in the pinned comment, there will be a link to this Google form where you can anonymously submit your hot takes to the Hot Take series. This could be literally about anything, whether it be about a song, whether it be about a theory, whether it be about Tyler, Josh, the band's live, an era, anything in particular with 21 Pilots. And today we're going to be spotlighting the 21 Pilot album hot takes, and this is actually our third go around of it. And admittedly, in here there is not a lot of hot takes. There is 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 hot takes in total. So I'm going to give a little commentary with each and every hot take in this, but definitely feel free to submit any hot take you have of 21 Pilots in the forum down below. Again, of 21 Pilots. And if you've already submitted a hot take and you don't see it, refrain from submitting another hot take so that way it gets less confusing. But anyway, let's go ahead and go into part 3 of your album hot takes. Let's get right into it. Blurryface is very much a product of its time. I'm scared to go into details because I don't like stirring up controversy, but I feel like some lyrics didn't age well. I think the album probably wouldn't have done as well as if it did if it was released today. I cannot think of any lyrics off the top of my head that didn't age well. And this is an anonymous hot take forum. Please submit what you really feel down in there, because I am curious if any of you who are watching this video have any idea of any Blurryface lyrics that didn't age well, or how Blurryface is a product of its time. Definitely let me know. In terms of audio production, definitely it's a product of when it came out. I'm not a fan of the audio production on Blurryface, but I'm very curious what you mean, and I would love for you to submit another hot take describing what all you mean by this. Just because SAI is propaganda and the lore dictates the themes and the feels of the album, SAI should still be a good, well-produced album, which I feel as if it isn't. And just because the lore says it shouldn't be good and you shouldn't like it, I feel that TOP should still make good music no matter what the lore says. Well, I might be in the minority here, but I love Scalinazy. It's my favorite 21 Pilot album, mainly emotionally, but musically, I love it so much as well. And the lore doesn't say per se that Scalinazy was supposed to be a bad album, bad produced album. I feel as though if that was the case, Tyler would have said it in one of the Clancy letters. He recently said in an Instagram post that he made as if, what if it wasn't made for a live setting, which I guess you could take it that way. But on that same vein, for an album that was Tyler's first album he would produce all by himself, with the exception of a couple of songs, I feel as though it was pretty good and definitely better than what I or many people watching could do. But I like it, and there's not a lot of places in lore it's saying that it should be a bad album. Sure, SAI propaganda, but people can fall for propaganda. Propaganda is supposed to sound good, so people fall for it. So I guess I'm one of those people. But if it was still a propaganda album and sounded like Trench, I feel as though there'd be a different discussion. Trench is their best album due to its maturity in its songwriting and production. Definitely not going to argue on the production side of everything, because definitely for me, it's the best produced 21 Pilot album. Like I said, I like Scalinazy's production for Tyler's first outing, but Trench is better. And what helps with Trench's production is the fact that they weren't alone, because they had Paul Meany help produce a lot of the songs off of Trench. And so much so that people who don't like Scale Nicey, but the people will say they love Redecorate, which Paul Meany was one of the producers on. So Paul Meany definitely helped with Trench. As far as songwriting, definitely there are a lot of great songs on Trench as well. However, me personally, there are some songs on Trench where I could just go without. I'm not going to mention any song titles here to upset anyone, but it definitely, Trench does show their maturity, and every album following Trench will continue to show their maturity. Scale Nicey was showing Tyler's maturity in doing production by himself, and I think we're going to see that in the future. Saying Trench is the best album is 100% not a hot take in the slightest. So for those of you who are new, there have been many people who have said Trench is their best album. And more so than anyone that has said that their favorite album is Blurryface or Scale Nicey or Vessel for that matter. A lot of people have submitted Trench as their best album, so much so that people are agreeing with something that I've said before, which is the fact that saying Trench is the best 21 Pilot album is not a hot take, because that's just how most people think. I don't even like just any poll online, ask people what's their favorite 21 Pilots album, odds are people are going to say Trench, with Vessel as a close second, but many people will say that Trench is their favorite album, so much so it's not really a hot take. Self-titled sucks. It might be the lack of production or it just being so much different from all of the later albums. For this one, I think it could be a production thing. That being said though, it's still better produced than what you would find on Regional at best, with Tyler recording it in his home studio. Then again, you had two other people with Tyler compared to Regional at Best, where you just had Tyler and Josh. You had Chris and Nick for Self-Titled. The songwriting on Self-Titled, I think, is one of the best off of every 21 Pilot album, in my personal opinion, but that's just because Attic with a Pen is my favorite 21 Pilot song. But I don't know, I love Self-Titled. Again, you can dislike Self-Titled because everyone has their own different taste in music, because music is subjective, but how can you say Self-Titled sucks when Regional at Best is right there? Regional at Best has some of T.O.P.'s best songwriting out of all of their music. So much so that they took half of those songs and they made their way onto Vessel, including the bonus tracks. And it's funny, like, doing this now after Tyler talked about Regional Best of the 10th anniversary live stream and saying that they made Regional at Best as just a way to sell a concert so they can pay for gas, which absolutely smart thinking, because that's how most bands make their money, is through merch sales, not, especially today, not through streaming, because man, streaming pays very badly. But I mean I do agree, because like I do love Anathema, I do love Be Concerned, and I love Clear as well. Ruby's great, Slowtown's great as well, but and like the best songs that were on Regional Best made their way over to Vessel, such as Ode to Sleep, Trees, and so on, Car Radio, Guns for Hands, so on and so forth. Trench is the most lore-related album in the whole discography, and I feel like people feel this just because it was the first, and you remember your first. This was where we got first introduced to Dima. It's where you first got introduced to Clancy. And they've done lore stuff other than that, like Level Concern, especially the ARG, is full of Dima lore, especially when you analyze it from a Dima perspective. It is so lore-filled, but again, that's just a single, it's not a whole album. Scale Nicey is definitely full of lore, but I can definitely understand where people are coming from when they say Trench is the most lore-related album in the whole discography. I mean, looking back at Blurryface, looking back at Vessel, you can say those were retroactively added. They're still trying to weave pieces in together. You look at Self-Titled and people will debate that one for days, so definitely mostly agree with this one. People dislike SAI from a lore perspective because the lore isn't laid out on a silver platter like it was in Trench. I feel like people, Trench stans, don't like to dig and discover the lore, but rather have Nico, Dima, Vitalism, etc. dropped in the song lyric or title. Trench fans, you have been called out by this person, man. Wow. Dang, I don't know how to approach this one without upsetting people. One of I guess one of my favorite things about Skill and Icy was looking deep in it. I mean, I'm a puzzle person. I love puzzles. Like I said, do a word search, do a crossword. I love that kind of stuff. So I guess that's why I love Skill and Icy from a lore perspective. But man, dang. I'm because in Skill and Icy, everything is more hidden. You have to do digging compared to Trench, where you had explicit Nico and the Niners. You had explicit Nico references in Morph, Dima in Nico and the Niners as well. And like, you just had a whole theme going through Trench as well as Blurryface. But in Skill and Icy, you have to go deeper, and I feel as though this person saying that a lot of people just don't want to do that and would just rather have things presented to them. Man, that they want to fight. They want to fight. Original at best is Tyler's best work. It's so emotional and metaphorical. It's really easy to project yourself onto the songs. Songs like Glowing Eyes are very raw and real, while at the same time, somewhat mysterious. Some songs represent what it actually feels like to be working through hard emotions in times, while other songs are more encouraging for someone to go through that stuff. Definitely feel this in songs in terms of Anathema, because like that song is one of my favorite 21 Pilots songs of all time, and I know like it just paid for gas money according to Tyler, but like that song means a lot to me, especially like that last sentence, working through hard emotions and times. So that song means a lot to me. I'm pretty sure Slow It Down means a lot to some people. Ruby means a lot to some people. Be Concerned kind of means a lot to me. I love that song. Not a lot of people do. I like it, but definitely. However, I guess Tyler sees Glowing Eyes as a Vessel song, I guess, because it's going to be on the Vessel re-release, which is fun. I just want Anathema. That's all I want. I just want Anathema on streaming services. Is that too much to ask? I don't care about just give me Anathema. Okay. 3 things. Self-titled is not that great. With the exceptions of Fall Away and Attic with a Pen, they're perfect. The regional and best songs are made to Vessel. The regional and best versions are better. I think the rougher vocals add more charm. And Talk About Saga, no it's not. Talk About Saga is not genius, and I couldn't cut this into the song hot take because you said 3 things right in the title. But, self-titled, sure. Yeah, absolutely. Like I said before, music's subjective. You can think that, but you did say that my favorite song of all time is perfect, so you get a pass from me. And as far as the regional best songs are better, I can see that for most of the songs on there. But you can't say that about Microwave Trees, because like, it's Microwave Trees. I mean, unless you think that, that's fine, but Microwave Trees. But anyway, that was all of the hot takes for this episode. Kind of short. Let me share with you some of my album hot takes. I shared with this in the very first episode that we did of this part. But for those of you who are new, Skill and Icy is my favorite album. Vessel is my second. My least favorite 21 Pilot album is Trench, not because of the songs, but the album just reminds me about a time in my life that I would rather forget. That being said, I do love most 21 Pilot songs. Most 21 Pilot songs, and I don't dislike any 21 Pilot album, making that perfectly clear. Love Trench, but He's my least favorite of the bunch. But anyway, if you have any 21 Pilot hot takes, definitely let me know down in the description box, as well as in the pinned comment. Use this form, especially you, person in the very beginning. I want to know what you mean by Blurryface didn't age well. Leave your thing in the hot take form, and we will shout it out on the next 21 Pilot hot take episode in terms of albums. As far as what we're doing next week, because we are going to make this a weekly series until people quit caring, quit people submitting hot takes. Next week, we're going to talk about lore, which is kind of like a lore 21 Pilot lore review. So if you have any theories you want to submit and for me to critique, definitely let me know in the comment section below. However, submit whatever hot takes you want, and I'll see you guys tomorrow for something, but I'll see you next Monday for the next hot take episode. Goodbye, and more importantly, have a good day, and I'll see you later.